Then to the offense in the indictment, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State,
Can I real not guilty?
I'm sorry,
Can I plead not guilty?
do you want a jury trial?
Because I didn't.
Are you requesting a jury trial, yes or no?
Because I didn't know how I was supposed to plead.
No, you can either plead guilty, not guilty, or no contest. If you're pleading not guilty, that means that you're requesting a jury trial. We will bring the jury in. Defense, do you need to speak with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you may want to mute yourself. All right, we're back on the record. To the offenses charged in the indictment, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest, Your Honor.
State any evidence to support the defendant's no contest plea.
State offers states warrant attachments, Judge.
No objection.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, the court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are we ready to proceed with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, state, any recommendations?
Judge, the state is most concerned in this case with the restitution. It's a notable amount of $20,000. So state understands that supervision would be the way to get that restitution included and would recommend deferred adjudication. The restitution would be paid, and American Momentum Bank. It's my understanding that the bank had covered some losses in either direction for the check in this case, Judge. So the restitution amount is $20,000, but it's to be determined what is owed directly to the bank and what's still owed to the parties.
All right, defense, what are you asking for?
Your Honor, we'd ask the court to consider deferred adjudication. We would recommend 2-year deferred adjudication. Ms. Cyphers has assured me she'd be able to pay the restitution amount within that period of time.
All right, what's her criminal history?
She has a prior drug case, I believe, Your Honor.
And what type of drug case was that?
It was a state jail felony.
And what happened with that case?
I don't honestly remember what happened with it, Your Honor. I know she was convicted of it.
And is that out of Bear County?
My client would like to speak, Your Honor.
All right, first question. Was that drug case out of Bear County?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and state, do you know the defendant's criminal history?
I believe there are some misdemeanor arrests, Judge, and then there were 2 drug cases that were revoked and run concurrently for a sentence in the state jail facility.
All right, and the third party you said restitution was owed to was American?
It's American Momentum Bank, Judge. It used to be Security Bank off of 1604. It was purchased, I believe the bank was purchased by American Momentum. So it's now under the American Momentum name.
Okay. All right, Ms. Cyphers, there's something you wanted to tell the court?
I was just wanted to answer the information that he didn't know correctly.
Is there anything else you'd like to say?
No, Your Honor.
All right, you want to explain to the court why you would do this?
Excuse me, ma'am. I did sell a vehicle and I did honest business. I don't know why the man went back 4 months later and changed his mind.
Okay, so here's the thing. I've read the police report, and in the police report, it says that his signature was forged. So if somebody is selling a vehicle to someone and they're giving them a cashier's check or whatever type of check they're giving them, their signature should be on there, not the person that they're writing it to. For example, if anyone here were to buy an item from me and give me a check, my signature should not be forged on that document. For example, if Brenna were to give me a check, her name should be on that check and her signature should be on that check. I should not be signing that check as though I'm Brenna.
Yes, ma'am.
If you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be? And before you answer, no, you're going to be drug tested.
Excuse me?
If you are drug tested today, which you will be, what are the results going to be?
I didn't hear the second part.
I'm sorry, what?
I didn't hear the second part.
Oh, I said, if you're drug tested today, and you will be drug tested today, what are the results of your drug test going to be?
Oh, marijuana.
And what else?
That's it.
All right, I don't understand the frowns and everything.
Because I said marijuana and I left it at that. I thought it was more than that. I would have said more than that, but it's marijuana.
Okay, why would you come to court knowing that and going to test positive for marijuana? Why are you using marijuana? How often do you use it?
Well, excuse me. I do have a medical condition and I was a resident in another state at one time, so I did have a license to use it. And even though it's not legal here, it is legal in other states. So sometimes I often do go out of town because Colorado is nothing but 12 hours away and I do smoke now.
Well, you're not going to be smoking if I were to grant you probation. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do understand that.
Do you have any children?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
What are their ages?
I have 4 girls. They're 19, 15, 12, and 6, and I have a 11-year-old son.
And who do they live with?
They live with me.
Where do you work?
I have my own business. I own Dreams to Reality Realty. I have property, rental houses. I also have a dog kennel. I breed dogs, exotic dog breeder, and I also do credit repair. And these are all licensed businesses in my name.
All right, well, I can tell you right now, the credit repair thing, that's going to end. You're no longer going to be allowed to do that.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, the court is going to give her 6 years deferred adjudication. There's going to be regular UAs. I'm going to want her drug tested today, Rebecca, and I want her tested for levels. Restitution of $20,000. And that is to be given to Mike Goldman, Marcos Elizondo, and American Momentum Bank. I'm going to want field visits, random 3 times per month, parenting classes. Are you able to Zoom?
Yes, ma'am.
There's going to be regular Zoom reporting or in person. 200 hours of community service restitution. And those hours are to be done. They will not be allowed to be bought out. Proof of employment. We were told to be back at 1:30. Within
I'm not a worker. I have my own business.
within 30 days. So no employment as a credit repairer or any employment that involves a vulnerable person. So there should be no employment as a home health care provider or any supervision of minors. And if you have any type of employment that's not with your business, but just negotiations with other persons, they need to be aware that you have this case out of this court. Is there anything else with regards to the conditions? Do you need anything else to be successful, Ms. Cyphers?
Yes, ma'am. I would like to see if I can transfer my probation to Harris County.
All right, I'll allow for transfer. But you are not transferred to Harris County until you receive appropriate documentation that you have been accepted by Harris County. Rebecca, is there anything else she needs? All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendants' Rights to Appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm denying your right to appeal as you have waived your right to appeal. If there's nothing else from either side, we'll close the record.
Your
Ms.
Honor, is
Cyphers? Yes.
She's allowed to live in Harris County until then, as long as she reports to Bear County.
She'll have to speak with probation and probation will let her know if they will allow her to do that.
Well, I live in, that's where I reside. I reside in Harris.
You will have to speak with probation. Probation will let you know if you're allowed to do that.
Well, my kids and everything go to school, so if I'm not.
Will you
allowed-
speak, do me a favor, speak to probation. Find out what probation says. If probation says that you can reside in Harris County until you're transferred there, then you can do that. If they say you can't, then you can't. So you don't know the answer to that question until you speak with probation. So probation is right there. Speak to probation. Is there anything else? All right. So they withdrawn the motion and they say it was based upon the new number 1 out of Harris County that was dismissed.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now let's address the other thing that's going on with you. All right, they say that you have failed to start in or complete parenting classes. Why not?
Yes, Your Honor. First, I would like to say that
Everyone, please whisper.
I have started the parent classes, but it's true that I did not complete because 8 classes, I only completed 6 of the 8.
All right,
Yes, sir.
that needs to be completed. You understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, and then they're saying you have the restitution amount.
Your Honor.
How are you working towards that?
There's several ways she's worked towards that. She's had a medical problem. She's still in therapy from a car accident she had. She has sold a house and is pending receiving the money. It will be enough that she'll be able to pay off the restitution.
All right. Let me see how long you've been.
Same with the community service.
All right, so if you pay off that restitution amount, because that's what's pending, and complete your parenting classes,
Yes, sir.
then I will terminate you from probation.
Yes, sir.
Otherwise, you're going to be on probation. You can be on probation up to 10 years. Do you understand?
She can
You
extend
could be
her
on probation for a total of 10 years. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I understand, but I thought I was on probation for,
You will.
No, what I am telling you is if you want this probation to end, you need to do what the court is asking of you. One is you need to pay off that restitution.
yes, ma'am.
I understand that
Yes, ma'am.
people have illnesses. I understand that people are in car accidents and other things. But the complainants in this case, they want their money. And you need to complete parenting classes.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And you need to make sure probation on this case, if you can make sure she has an installment plan in place. But she's saying she's selling a home.
Has sold a home.
Oh, has sold a home. All right. And she's going to be paying that off in full. Is that correct?
That was my understanding.
Yes.
All right. And so when is that going to happen?
Well, we're entitled, we're in the closing process, entitled takes it can take 90 to 108 days. Been already sold it 2 months, been 48 days into it. So I'm just waiting.
All right. So, yeah.
Restitution is included in our monthly payment,
Okay.
so there is a payment plan already.
All right. So she says she's going to have the restitution paid off as soon as closing takes place. All right. Is there anything else?
No, Your Honor, once those two things are completed, she'll give me evidence of that and I will come into the court.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court.
Yes.